Welcome to the United States of Africa. I'm Akosua Prempe, and here are the top stories we're covering today. A massive tree planting surge is transforming communities in Burkina Faso. Faith groups are joining forces for a greener, cleaner future. A slam poet doctor just turned a struggling clinic into the district's best. And Niger is launching an ambitious new development plan with the United Nations. If any of these stories excite you, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more Africa news that matters. Let's jump into our first headline. Tree planting wave sweeps Burkina Faso. Regional leaders just rolled up their sleeves to plant saplings in Boussouma's historic Dima Grove, following a powerful national push for reforestation. Community groups like the Wooni Association are taking action too, already planting 25,000 trees in Parégé to protect the land and inspire even more greenery across Burkina Faso. I love seeing local leaders and community groups turning climate action into real teamwork. This is how change takes root. Let's see the energy behind this growing movement.
The regional authorities of Kulsis visited the Dima Grove in Boussouma last week. The governor and the high commissioner also planted saplings in this grove. A similar example can be found in Boulsa, where the Wemkouni Association planted 25,000 trees in its protected forest in the village of Parawige. A report by Jacques Ouedraogo.
The regional authorities of the Kolseis in the Daima Grove of Boussouma, one after another, the governor and the high commissioner of the Centre Bonsenga province planted saplings in this forest protected by the kingdom. This initiative aims to support the noble vision of Dima de Boussouma, which aligns with the reforestation policy of Faso, launched by the head of state, Captain Ibrahim Traoré.
This approach by His Majesty is perfectly in line with the vision of the country's authorities as well. We hope that this grove will be a place of unity, tranquility, and peace, and above all, a means for peaceful coexistence among the people. In any case, we commend the initiative, and we have come to support this grove project by His Majesty, the Dima of Boussouma.
A fine example that has inspired other stakeholders in several localities of the region, such as this protected forest covering an area of 150 hectares in the village of Parawige, in the commune of Boulsa. This gem is the work of the Wemkouni Association, which initiated this reforestation effort to plant more than 25,000 seedlings for a living hedge around this forest.
The living hedge serves many purposes. First, it acts as a boundary, marking the limits of the forest. It also helps to fight against erosion, slowing down rainwater to prevent the area from being further eroded.
We've undertaken quite a few actions to protect this forest, and the establishment of this living hedge is part of that ongoing effort.
A call has therefore been made to the people of the Kulse region to redouble their efforts, especially during this period of good rainfall, to plant as many trees as possible in order to make this initiative of the Burkinabe government a reality in the region. Of the 25,000 hectares you're talking about?
Faiths unite for greener Burkina Faso. Last weekend, the Alliance Écologique Citoyenne pour la Patrie held a massive reforestation day in Tanghin Dasuri, teaming up with everyone, from police and medics to churches and mosques. Together, they planted fruit trees and delivered much-needed trash bins to common spaces, promoting a cleaner and greener future. It's heartwarming to watch all walks of life coming together for a cleaner Burkina. These are the moments we need more of. Check out how unity is powering this environmental mission.
In response to the ecological emergency, the Alliance Citoyenne pour la Patrie Association held a reforestation session on August 24th in Ouagadougou, planting trees at various sites in Tinguendasuri. With the aim of promoting social cohesion, this tree planting day brought together participants from the police station, the prefecture, mosques, churches, CSPS, and the Royal Palace of Bazoulay. We discussed this with Seko Zongo.
For a greener Burkina Faso, the Alliance Citoyenne pour la Patrie is making its contribution in the commune of Tinguendasuri. Members of the association are planting fruit trees here at the commune's medical center, mainly mango trees. This greening and environmental protection initiative aligns with the vision of the President of Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore.
We have planted 100 saplings at various sites, including the police station, the CSPS, the mosque, and the church. And then here we are in Bazule, in the royal courtyard. Also, there are some at households in Tinguendasuri.
In addition to these plantings, the Citizen Alliance for the Homeland is providing trash bins to the CSPS and the police station in Tinguendasuri. This gesture is also meant to help keep these highly frequented places clean.
Messages of thanks to the CP who thoughtfully came to offer us, in any case, these fruit trees. We had already chosen a spot to place the trash bin. I think this trash bin will really be useful to us.
Thank you to the association. May God truly be with them. Goodbye. Thank you very much. Thank you and thank you again.
A joy that will spread to other localities. The Citizen Alliance for the Homeland announces similar actions in other municipalities of Greater Uaga.
Doctor turned slammer transforms health center. Dr. Abdallah Drago, a slam artist and physician, has turned Gaungin 6 Medical Center into the Basket District's top facility for 2025. All through community-driven fundraising, creative recycling, and a whole lot of hustle. He's proof that passion and collaboration can create change, even without government funding. Only in Africa do you get doctors who spit rhymes and build hospitals. Dr. Abdallah is on another level. Here's a look at this inspiring, people-powered transformation.
And this community-focused initiative that we're presenting to you comes from the Gunjin 6 Urban Medical Center, and it's the chief physician of the center who started it, Dr. Abdallah Uedraogo, who is also a slam artist. So it was from him that the initiative was launched. He managed to mobilize the users of the medical center to standardize and modernize the facility through funding requests, recycling of used equipment, and community service projects. The standardization and modernization project implemented between 2018 and 2024 transformed the Gunjin 6 Urban Medical Center. It became the best healthcare facility in the Baskets District in 2025. How was this possible without public funding? The answer with Karim Bichenga.
To sacrifice their lives.
Dr. Abdallah is the one.
For the homeland or death, our parents overcame every challenge they faced. They serve as
an artist in his free time, but a full-time doctor. Behind this music and medicine enthusiast is a community mobilizer. The revelation of this talent began in 2018, the year he was assigned to the Gaungin 6 Urban Medical Center. As a young doctor, Dr. Abdallah found himself in a medical center that fell short of his expectations.
When they told me I was going to be assigned to Gungin, I thought I was being sent to Gungin 7, near the TSR station. And when I got there, they told me, no, it's Gungin 6, a center I didn't know at all. And when I came to see the Gungin 6 center, it was completely lagging behind compared to the other centers. Everything needed to be redone. There were so many problems here. And as people said, we needed laboratories too. There were essential services that were missing. We said to ourselves, why not transform the center we found into the one we hope to go to, or even beyond that? We redid the project, which we now call the standardization project, to have a laboratory, since there wasn't one, and to modernize it so that the center would be a modern and exemplary facility.
A well-structured project, but with one hitch. Resources of all kinds are lacking. A weakness that does not dampen Dr. Abdallah's determination. The ingenious idea that comes to him involved the users and residents around the CME. Information sessions are organized for the benefit of the community. This is followed by a fundraising campaign. In some places, users of CME Gaungin 6, while contributing, bitterly recall their expectations.
Our current level of overall progress.
This only strengthens the young doctor's determination, despite resistance from all sides. In response to funding requests, Dr. Abdallah combines community service projects with recycling of used equipment. These benches and this parking lot are the results.
We noticed that we had beds that could no longer be used for patients, damaged ones that were basically polluting the environment, if I can put it that way. And we also needed a parking lot for the staff. So we thought, why not take those beds and recycle them to create the parking lot? So the central part of the beds was used to make the parking barrier you see here. And the bed legs have now been used to make backrests, benches for resting, which are inside the medical center. This made it possible to clear the medical center of worn-out equipment, namely the beds, and to provide a secure parking lot for the healthcare staff, while at the same time also having benches for patients and visitors who come to see us. So it was really economical, it was environmentally friendly, and it also allowed us to have a secure parking lot and rest areas for the patients' companions. The roof was given to us by a local company through the mayor at the time from District 1, and we were able to get the roofs to cover that parking lot.
There are several of them. Several companies supported the project whose implementation is estimated at around 40 million CFA francs. Alongside these companies, humanitarian organizations, training institutions, and individuals have also joined the project. This laboratory is another result of their mobilization.
When we say medical center, normally there should be a laboratory, but the medical center didn't have one. It was absolutely necessary for the lab to exist in order for the care to be complete. So as part of the project, we already had a shed here, which was used for vaccinations, and most of the time students would also come here to work. And we said to ourselves, why not divide up this shed and turn it into a laboratory? And since there were no funds to do it, we simply asked the healthcare workers to give up their bonuses for 3 to 4 quarters so that we could use that money to divide up this building and turn it into a laboratory. It's true that we didn't get 100% of the staff to agree, but at least 3/4 of them did. And we took the bonuses for 3/4, which we used to divide up that old shed. One part became a laboratory and the other part was turned into a meeting room. And today, since 2020, as you will see, we carry out routine examinations for patients, and this has helped to complete the care we provide and also to improve the health of the population.
The project to standardize and modernize the CME Gongjin 6 also includes beautifying the premises, a place where I dare say the state was one of filth. Various construction projects were then launched. Among these projects were the construction of a roundabout and the paving of the courtyard.
Just imagine for a moment if everyone did as he did, what a profound impact that would have. Who benefits? It's Burkina that benefits. And on top of all of those things, I also work in the healthcare industry. I personally train healthcare workers who diligently use this very important center. If I can genuinely contribute even just a little bit to making the overall environment significantly more pleasant and comfortable for both the valued patients and also for those dedicated individuals who work tirelessly here, I truly think there's absolutely no reason whatsoever to hesitate at all.
So today, with some friends, we managed to gather, a ton of cement and 2 cans of paint, which we brought to the center to help with their renovation work.
In addition to that, there are other achievements: a children's playground, signposts, and this hospital book. In short, the face of CME Gongjin 6 at the end of the project is completely transformed. It is now a medical center that meets standards with a welcoming environment for both patients and staff. It was even named the best healthcare facility in the Baskets District in 2025.
Niger and UN launch bold development partnership. Niger's government and the United Nations just launched a major push for sustainable, inclusive progress with 4 flagship programs targeting food, education, youth jobs, and governance. The mission? To build a more resilient, united, and future-ready Niger, even in the face of real challenges. It's good to see Niger betting big on youth, education, and self-sufficiency. That's the blueprint for long-term impact. Let's dive into what these game-changing partnerships mean for Niger.
Joint programs between the government of Niger and the United Nations system have just been launched in Niamey during a ceremony. These programs will contribute to driving a dynamic of sustainable, inclusive, and transformative development in Niger. Abdoulaye Ali and Ramatu Adamu from RTN with the report.
In the face of chronic instability, recurring climate shocks, and structural economic vulnerability, the government of Niger and the United Nations system are committing to an ambitious response to exemplify a new generation of partnerships to accelerate Niger's deep, inclusive, and sustainable transformations. Thus, with a vision for systematic and inclusive transformation, 4 flagship joint programs have been developed. The purpose of this meeting: this includes the Food Sovereignty Program, led by the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, the Education and Training Program, overseen by the Ministry responsible for national education, the Youth and Employability Program, led by the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and finally, the program to support the strengthening of socio-economic governance in Niger, led by the Ministry of Economy and Finance.
Among the key messages that emerged from these discussions, 2 priority areas were consistently mentioned in each of the 3 countries of the AES Confederation. On the one hand, the modalities of cooperation between the states and the United Nations system. On the other hand, the very nature of the interventions to be prioritized. Regarding the modalities of cooperation, the national authorities expressed a strong expectation, that of a closer alignment between the areas of intervention of the United Nations system and national priorities.
On this occasion, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Cooperation and Nigerians Abroad, representing the Prime Minister, praised the entire United Nations system for its steadfast commitment to supporting the countries of the AES Confederation in their development efforts.
These comprehensive and impactful programs were meticulously developed with the active and dedicated participation of highly experienced officials from the esteemed Ministry of Economy and Finance, various crucial sectoral ministries, and distinguished experts from the extensive United Nations system, ensuring a collaborative and well-rounded approach. The successful implementation of these programs requires the full and active involvement of all stakeholders, the strengthening of the capacities of the relevant actors, ongoing and coordinated dialogue with all participants, and the collective ownership of the process by institutions and citizens.
Results are expected from these programs, which are perfectly aligned with the vision of the country's highest authorities, who are committed to making Niger a more prosperous, inclusive, and resilient nation.